How freaking satisfying is that? Did I put on too much? No, I didn't. Hello, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for being here. That was super sweet of you. What do you guys think of my hair today? I was going for a Bailey Sarian sort of thing. I was just watching her latest episode of Murder, Mystery, and Makeup Mondays, and I thought her hair looked so cute, and I feel like she does this a lot with the little flat barrettes. So yeah, this is very much a direct copy of Bailey Sarian today. What do we think? Did I do a good job? We'll do a little side by side. Suspicious. Oh god, that was bad. But that's not what this video is about. You did not click on this video to watch me do a really mediocre Bailey Sarian impression. No, you clicked on this video because you, like me, have an interest in me trying a bunch of new makeup that I got at Ulta and TJ Maxx and other places. So I recently placed an Ulta order. If you follow me on Instagram, you already saw me do a little haul on there where I just showed the products but I didn't use them or anything. But I got exciting stuff like the new e.l.f. Putty Bronzer. I got some new eyeliners from LA Girl to try. I have a new freckle pen to try out today. What else do I have? I have a new concealer to try out. I got some new lip products. I got a lot of new makeup to try, and I thought it would be fun to just sit down and do it here together. So if that sounds like a topic that is interesting to you and you want to hear me talk about a bunch of new makeup, then I encourage you to please subscribe and keep on watching because it's coming at you right now. I don't know why I always start videos where I'm getting ready with my little fake nose ring in as if I'm gonna be able to really get in there with the nose ring there, but I did. Okay, let's zoom you in a little bit. I'm gonna start by going in with my e.l.f. Luminous Putty Primer, and I know it's hard to believe, but this is actually not a new makeup item, as if you ever thought that it wouldn't be. Ooh, can I draw a little smiley face? I can, how cute. Okay, so this is my e.l.f. Luminous Putty Primer. It's like the only primer that I use, and I'll go through it very quickly because I know that I talk about this one a lot, but I am looking to get a new primer soon. I've done two of the e.l.f. Putty Primers. I've done their original Poreless Putty Primer, and I've done the Luminous. I know they recently came out with an acne fighting one, which I'm tempted by, but I'm worried that I won't want to put salicylic acid all over my face because it does have salicylic acid in it, which I do like salicylic acid. It's in my Paula's Choice BHA liquid exfoliant, but usually I only use that at night. I do have dry, sensitive skin, so I try to keep my salicylic acid to just a nighttime treatment, but I am down to try others of the Poreless Putty Primers. I gotta just go ahead and buy that 3-pack of minis. They have a 3-pack of minis that comes with the Poreless, the Luminous, and the oil controlling, and I feel like I could target different areas of my face and it would be great. So I gotta remember to get that next time I place an Ulta order. Alright, so my foundation is not like new, but it's still like within a month of me first buying it, and it is a newer product. It's the Oma by Sharon C Flawless IRL Foundation. If you missed my review trying this for the first time, I'll be sure to link it down below for you. I am in love with this foundation. It is so good. It's the perfect amount of coverage for me. You know, it's definitely like a light to medium coverage, but what I love so much about this foundation for summertime is that it lasts a really long time. And especially today in New York is like a stupid hot day. It's supposed to be like 100 degrees today. We definitely are looking for a foundation that's gonna have some staying power here, and I love this one for that. Has a really nice natural radiant finish. Look at my redness. What redness? Where did it go? Ignore the breakouts, but where's the redness, you know? So I am a big fan of this foundation. I cannot stop talking about it. I'm definitely not the type of person who just buys a lot of new foundations. I don't know why. I'm picky about my foundations and I don't like to spend a lot of money on foundations. So when I find one that I really like, you're really not gonna be able to get me to shut up about it because it's exciting to find something that works for you, you know? Okay, I like the way the foundation looks. Now we're finally gonna try a new product. I have a new color corrector and concealer to show you. So if you're not new to my channel, then you know that I have been devoted to my NYX Conceal Correct Contour palette for many months now. It's been a big part of my project pan, but I finally finished the peachy color corrector shade last month and I was so sad about it, and I'm very stubborn and I'm not buying a new one of these until I finish all of the shades. So I was on the prowl for a new color corrector, and one of my lovely subscribers, I'll try to find the comment recommending it, recommended that I try the Flower Beauty Under Eye Color Corrector. What's the name of it? It's called like the Chill Out or Be Chill Under Eye Corrector. It has CBD in it, so that's supposed to be very soothing, and I have the shade Light Peach. They do have a light peach, medium peach, and deep peach, so you can pick one that's more aligned to your skin tone. And I've actually been using this guy for a minute now. Since I got it, I guess it's only been like a week, but I've used it at least like 4 or 5 times, and I really, really like it. It's a really nice texture. It's thicker than I expected it to be, but it does blend out really nicely, and it's super, super peachy. It's definitely peachier than the Peachy Corrector in the NYX Conceal Correct Contour palette, but that's okay because I am gonna go over it with concealer, so any sort of like awkward tones are gonna be covered up, but I do love how hydrating this feels. It definitely does have like, it doesn't have a cooling effect or anything. Maybe it's just the fact that they told me they put CBD in it, but I'm like, yeah, absolutely. No, my under eyes are absolutely chilled out. So I don't know, could be a placebo, but I think it makes my under eyes look nice. Definitely helps them feel chill. I don't know, kind of feels like putting an eye cream onto me, which I really love. So I've been a really big fan of this so far, and watch how easy it is to cover up with concealer. Okay, so my new concealer that I've got, I've only used this like one time before, so this is really just like a second impressions. I finally found my shade in the First Aid Beauty Bendy Avocado Concealer at TJ Maxx. My TJ Maxx has been carrying this First Aid Beauty concealer for like a long time now, but they only ever have like 1 or 2 shades, you know, because it's TJ Maxx. They don't carry a full line, they just carry what they have. So they finally got my shade in. They got the shade Ivory, and I got it for $5.99, which is really exciting because I think the full price of this is like $22. Samantha Ravindal used to rave about this concealer all the time, so I've been really curious to try it because she also has dry skin, and I find that we have very similar taste in complexion products, so I was really happy that I was able to get this at a discounted price. Oh my goodness, I'm talking all about the discounts and I'm not even applying it. So it has kind of like a boring little applicator here. It just kind of looks like a little lip gloss applicator, but that's fine, you know? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a little bit on the inner corner and a little bit on the outer corner, because that's usually what I do with my concealer. And this is more sheer than it looks. I was really surprised when I blended it out last time how it's like not a super high coverage concealer, which is fine for me because like we just said, I like to put my color corrector on first. So for me, those two together are kind of like making a full coverage concealer, if that makes sense. So I'm gonna go in, this is my first time using this. This is one of the little mini sponges from Shop Miss A. When I did my big Shop Miss A haul, I got their blender vault, and I've been going through all the blenders, and I finally got to try their mini mochi one. So this is my first time trying this little beauty blender. Let's see how it goes with my concealer. And we're just gonna blend that out too, and look how easily it blends. Wow. But you can see it doesn't add a very high amount of coverage at all. It's a sheer concealer, but honestly I'm not mad at it because usually I don't like liquid concealers. The only reason I gave this one a chance is because Sam has raved about it, and like I said, I really trust her complexion opinions, so I figured it can't be too drying, and it's not drying at all. This is the first liquid concealer I've ever used that hasn't looked incredibly drying on my under eyes, so I'm impressed with that so far. This is only my second time using it, so I'm gonna have to keep using it a little longer before I give like my final thoughts, but so far I am really liking it and I'm finding it very easy to use. Oh my gosh, next up is the new e.l.f. Putty Bronzer. I'm so excited. As you can see, it's still in the packaging. I haven't even opened it yet, so let's open it here together. I knew it was gonna be small because people said it was small, but I don't know why. I just assume all of their putty products are gonna be like the same size as the primers, but I guess you can use less since it's a bronzer, so it makes sense. But in case you didn't know, it is not the same size as the putty primer. It is definitely smaller. I have heard that it's the same size as the putty blush. I haven't tried the putty blush yet, but let me know if I should try that, if you guys have tried it or if you have any shade recommendations. So I got the shade Tan Lines in the e.l.f. Putty Bronzer. Big thank you to my Instagram community because I did not know what shade to get. I was really worried that this was gonna look orange on me, so I put out a call being like, hey, anybody else who's very pale with cool undertones, is this gonna look orange on us? And a lot of people came back and showed me swatches, which was just so helpful. So I love my little Instagram community. If you're not following me on Instagram, it's at GlamGeoNYC. I post a lot of pictures of Bert, and I just post a lot on there in general, so definitely check me out there. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. I don't want to ruin it. Ooh, let's get a little further zoom. How freaking satisfying is that? So I think I might, should I dip directly in here? I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I'm really unfamiliar with cream bronzers. It has been a long time since I used a cream bronzer. Let's stick my finger in it. Let's just ruin it. Just get it out of the way. Just ruin the beautiful surface. It's fine. I got my close-up shot. Oh, okay. So this is gonna be sheer, huh? I had heard that it was sheer, but you know, sometimes you just gotta see things for yourself. So let's give it a little swatchy swatch. Yeah, okay, that's gonna be sheer for sure. I kind of want to dip my brush right in. Is that the most sanitary way to do things? You know, probably not, but I am gonna do it because my brush is the perfect size to dip in here. This is the same brush I used for my foundation, by the way. It's a Shop Miss A high def brush, FR4. It's a little kabuki brush. I love it so much. So yeah, I guess we'll just go right in and see what happens. It looks like everything's going fine so far. Okay. Did I put on too much? No, I didn't. Oh my gosh, it's so hard to tell. I love how forgiving this is though. I thought I put too much on and then I blended it a little bit and it's essentially blended into nothing. Not nothing though, it still looks good. And now I'm just building it up a little more to my desired opacity and oh my goodness, is this user friendly or what? Yeah, I really like that so far. Oh my gosh, it's not so much like, I mean it is a putty. I'm not over here trying to tell you what to call certain textures and stuff, but to me this feels more like a balm almost because it's so sheer and blendable and easy to work with. I feel like my bronzer, yeah, is still pretty hard to detect on camera because that's how subtle it is, but honestly I'm all about that because I have a heavy hand. I go in with blush and my whole face is blush. I go in with highlight, my whole face is highlight. I go in with bronzer, my whole face is bronzer. So I really need forgiving products, especially with bronzer. Oh my gosh. So I'm really loving this so far. Holy freaking moly, e.l.f. Putty Bronzer, check it out. Alright, so I went ahead and powdered my under eyes off camera real quick just to try to give that bronzer a second to sink in. If it is going to sink in, I mean, feeling it, it doesn't feel tacky. I feel like I'm not getting transfer. So hopefully I'm in a good place to go in with a powder blush now. Oh, we gotta pop my little fake nosy ring back in. And alas, I am complete. Okay, so the blush I'm going in with is not a super new blush to me, but it is relatively new to my collection, and that is the Alva Flower Blusher from Oden's Eye Cosmetics. I have the shade Sweet Tulip, and it's kind of like a nice mauve-y blush, and I think that's gonna go really well with the lip I have picked out, and it is a matte blush, and I haven't had any issues with this blending so far on different foundations and stuff, so hopefully it blends nicely over the bronzer because I really like this bronzer and I really want the bronzer to work out. Let's see. It's also a very pigmented blush. I forgot about that. Hey, things appear to be going well so far. Okay, did I go in with an incredibly heavy hand on my blush? Absolutely I did, but does it look patchy? I don't think so. I think it's blended pretty nice over this bronzer. Okay, I'm impressed so far. I've also been very into taking my blush into like the eye area lately. I did that the other day in what video? My video where I did a Leo makeup look, which you should definitely check that out. But when I was doing my Leo makeup look and I wore that orange blush, I put it into my eye area and I loved the way that that looked. All right, looks like I'm gonna have to give it to this putty bronzer. This powder blush is blending beautifully on top. I mean, granted, this is the only powder blush I've used on top of the putty bronzer so far, so I'll definitely keep you updated as I try it with other powder blushes, but so far it did not blend patchy on top of the bronzer, which is awesome. All right, so let's go in with a little highlight real quick. I have a relatively new highlight. It is the Estate Cosmetics Spacebound highlighters, which have such a cool texture. They're definitely giving us strong, like, Super Shock vibes. Kind of a putty highlighter too, you know, staying in the putty vibes here today. And this is the shade Lunar. It's a nice, pretty pinky highlighter. And I am just gonna apply a tiny bit. You really don't need a lot with these Estate highlighters. They are very powerful. And what I'm gonna do is dab a little bit on with my finger. This has been my highlighter method lately. I talked about this in a video recently where I just really like to pop on the highlighter with my finger a little bit, and then I go in with my Shop Miss A highlighter brush and I just use that to blend it out, and I feel like that gives me the most smooth, effortless highlight. Oh, so pretty. Add a little to the nose, of course. Ooh, I didn't even blush my nose today. What am I thinking? Gotta blush that nose. Alrighty, so that's nearly it it for my complexion, I'm gonna go ahead and spray my face real quick with my NYX Bear With Me setting spray, and then we're gonna try a new freckle pen. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Alrighty, so now moving right along to my new freckle tint from Lottie London. I know I keep calling it a freckle pen, I guess it's more of a freckle tint, but this is very exciting to me because usually I use my, where is it, my ColourPop freckle pen, which is just kind of like your basic felt tip eyeliner looking pen, except it's definitely a little lighter, and you know, you can just go in and blend it out with your finger, and that's super easy peasy for me. But I've been curious to try something new. So this one is definitely more of like a liquid eyeliner sort of a brush. I did try using this one other time, and I'll be honest, I had kind of a hard time with it. I think I just put on a little too much at a time because this is a liquid, you know? I'm used to my felt tip pen where I can go in like very haphazardly, whereas this one seems like you have to be a little more careful. So let me stop talking about it and just attempt to do it now. See if I've learned anything from my one other time. I'm gonna brush off the sides of the brush a little bit. Hopefully that makes it a little less liquidy. And I'm gonna do what I normally do, which just do little clusters of freckles. I always start on the nose with my faux freckles because I find that's where I have a lot of my freckles naturally. I will say this is pretty red looking, but if I'm remembering correctly from the last time I used this, it doesn't look as red after it's dry. So I don't know what's the science behind that, but now I'm gonna go in with my finger and just dab that out a little bit, make them look a little more subtle. What shade do I have? Do they have different shades? I have the shade light. Okay, should I have gone with light? Yeah, probably. That's probably fair. It's probably like go with what your skin tone is, not what your hair color is. I don't know why I would think that your freckles should match your hair color, but that is a thought that I just had. Okay, adding some more. Ooh, I did a big one by accident. That's okay. You'll have big freckles sometimes. Oh, I did another big one. I gotta stop talking. Let me just focus for a second. Okay, those kind of all blended together a little bit. Yeah, so you have to be careful not to get too much liquid out with this, because if you get too much liquid, then when you go to dab your finger over it, it kind of just like smudges and they kind of just like blend together. So I note to self, be careful, be cautious. You definitely have more wiggle room with this freckle tint though than you do with the ColourPop freckle pen, because with the ColourPop freckle pen you kind of have to go in and dab them out right away if you want to make them look more subtle, whereas with this one I'm sitting here, I'm chatting, I'm talking, I'm wasting time, and I can still go in and make them look a little more subtle. All right, I went ahead and zoomed in a little further and turned down the brightness even more so you can really see the freckles. I'd love to know what you guys think. I'm kind of torn on this product from Lottie London. I like the way they look, like I definitely like the finished product, especially in the monitor. I'm like, oh, well, she's looking very cute, she's looking very fresh. But in person, I do feel like the tone is a little red for me, just comparatively. I know I keep going back to my hair and like, I don't know, maybe hair doesn't have anything to do with freckles, but to me, I think I prefer the tone of the ColourPop freckle pen in the shade light. I'll show you the difference in tone if we even can. I'll try to do a little swatch here for you. All right, and now here is the Lottie London one, and you can definitely see, okay, I'm glad that this is showing up. You can see the Lottie London one is a lot more warm toned than the ColourPop one, which almost leans cool tone, definitely more neutral though, which I kind of like. But I will say the other day I mixed them together, like I did some of the Lottie London freckle pen and then I did some of the ColourPop freckle pen, and I really liked how that looked. So let's just do a couple real quick and see how that looks. And I know you're probably like, ah, panic, what are you doing? Don't mess it up. But it's okay, I've done this before, you guys. I'm a professional. This is Sagittarius Chaos. This is what I thrive on, and I'm loving every second of it. Yeah, see, I think these look kind of cute together. It adds a little dimension, you know, with the different colored freckles, because I have freckles in real life, and I do find that they're not all the same color, so I really like the mixture of these two together. If you guys have any tips for me, if you've used, even if you haven't used this one, if you've used like the Freck one, I know that freckle tints are like their own thing, so if you have any tips for tints for me, please do let me know in the comments because I would love to get better. All right, we're gonna stay this zoomed in because now I'm moving on to the eyes, and I have a new eyeliner to try for you here today, and that is the LA Girl Shockwave eyeliner in the shade Fresh. I have used it before, but only in my waterline so far. So today I'm gonna be popping it all over the lid and attempting to use it kind of like a cream eyeshadow and do a little graphic moment. We'll see how it goes, but I'm gonna start just by trying to pop some color on the lid here just to get it set down, and then I can go in with a brush and try to clean it up. I will say this is really creamy, like it is going on really nicely onto my lid. Oh my gosh, look how neon it is. So powerful, oh my gosh. I am currently in my mint era, so this is a very timely purchase for me. Okay, now let's see if I can't create sort of a graphic shape here. These are so smooth and creamy. Oh my gosh, I'm like blown away that this is an eyeliner pencil. Okay, this is looking so good so far. Let me go ahead and do the other eye off camera real quick. Oh my gosh, look how cute! I'm loving the way this is looking. I'm tempted to just leave it like this, but also I can't resist adding a little bit of highlight on the inner corner. So we are going to dip into my Cat's Breath palette from the Saga of Freya collection from Oden's Eye Cosmetics. This is still relatively new, so I felt it was appropriate, and it's also the cutest palette I own. Look at the little cat, he's so sweet, I love him so much. Okay, so I want to dip into the shade Cat Star, which is this beautiful like zebra print looking shade, but it's just a really pretty like minty shimmer, and I feel like it'll look really pretty just popped on the inner portion of this eye look. Okay, I'm actually gonna dip in with my brush here because it's showing up a little subtle on my finger. So let's see. Yeah, I can get in much nicer with the brush. That's pretty though, because they're like the same color, so it's not like changing the color at all. It's just adding a little bit of dimension to my inner corners. Okay, that looks super, super pretty. Now let me just throw on some mascara real quick, and then we'll come back and we'll put on a lip to tie the whole look together. All right, and here we are. I got my mascara on. I also forgot to mention I put the same LA Girl eyeliner on my waterline as well to kind of tie the whole thing together, and now I'm ready for a lip. So I did mention this in my July makeup roundup, but that was like my first day using it then, and I've used them a few more times since then. But I have one of the new Estate Makeup Lip Thirst lip balms, lippies, I don't know, I'm always very confused about the name. I would call these like a cross between a tinted lip balm and a lipstick, because I don't think they're as sheer as a tinted lip balm. You can sheer them out, like you can kind of curate your own opacity with these. Like I'll show you a little swatch. You can go in like that and ooh, it's nice and sheer. Or you can go in like that and really build it up. So there is a buildability to it, but I still think they're a little more tinted than like your average tinted lip balm. And this color, Rhea, is really, really pretty. It's such a nice like purpley shade that it's not like super purple. I guess it's not really purpley, it's more like a burgundy, but matches my blush really nicely. And I'm gonna try and keep this sheer today since my eyes are so bold, so I'm just gonna go ahead and use my finger to spread this out a little bit. Yes, I love it. This lip is giving me, I just finished a berry flavored popsicle and my lips just look like this, and I love that. Super, super effortless. Alrighty, and with that, we have reached the end of the video. What do you think of my finished look, my nearly full face of new makeup products? Like I mentioned earlier, I am living in my mint era right now, and so I am really feeling this look. You know, we got kind of a simple eye, simple for me, okay? Normally I'm like graphic liner up the wazoo, so for me this is a pretty simple eye, but it still feels really pretty. I love the color. I am amazed at how I was able to use this LA Girl Shockwave neon eyeliner to cover my whole eye relatively effortlessly. I thought I was gonna have to go in with a Q-tip afterwards to like sharpen the edges, but I was able to get pretty sharp with just this pencil. So yeah, I'm gonna be getting some more shades of these. If you guys have used the LA Girl Shockwave eyeliners, definitely let me know what shade you recommend, because I've heard from other people that not all of the shades perform the same way. So let me know if you've had good experiences with any of the other shades, but I would like to recommend the shade Fresh to you for sure. And oh my gosh, I was equally impressed by this e.l.f. Putty Bronzer. Holy freaking moly. I kind of thought this was gonna be a product that was just a little overhyped, especially to somebody like me who doesn't normally reach for cream bronzers, but this is everything it's cracked up to be and more. Like, it's so good. It worked really well with the powder blush I used today, but I'm definitely gonna try it with other powder blushes to see if it's like universally powder friendly, but so far it's working really well. And then like I said, the Lottie London freckle tint, please give me your tips for freckle tints, because I did find this one to be not as user friendly as my little ColourPop freckle pen. So definitely give me your tips with this, because I do like the finished look with this, and I like using it with the ColourPop one to add a little more dimension. Oh, and then this is not new at all, but it's new to me. If you were wondering about the First Aid Beauty Hello Fab Avocado Bendy Concealer, I really like it. As somebody with dry under eyes who normally hates liquid concealers, this one is the exception to the rule, and I can't wait to keep using it because so far I really like it. Oh, and then the last thing from my Ulta haul that I tried today, the Flower Beauty Color Corrector with CBD in it. I 10 out of 10 recommend if you're somebody like me who loves peachy under eye corrector correctors. Like I said, it kind of feels like putting an eye cream on, but like a balmy eye cream. I'm very into balmy textures, if you couldn't tell. So this has been a successful Ulta haul, I should say. So I hope you liked this video. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I post new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and they're always really cute and sweet and fun like this one. I do a lot of early 2000s content. Like I said, I just did an astrology video earlier this week. I talked about Leo horoscopes while doing a Leo makeup look. I've been doing a lot of fun stuff lately, and I've been having a really good time, and I'd love to have you subscribe. Check out my description box for all of the products I used today. Also in my description box, I will have a bunch of Black Lives Matter resources to support the Asian American community, and resources to support the LGBTQ+ community. So please click on those links if you haven't yet. And I thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!